So today, we're playing the Berserker, and we are back to the most iconic duo, Magic Torch and Manathirst. With the recent changes to these awesome weapons, I thought we'd get back using them and try them out. And we may even create a super fun Shaman buff run. But hey, check it out and let me know what you think of it. Okay, let's go and jump some ranked games with a random character and see how we're going to get today. So it looks like we're playing the big old Berserker. We do start off with a duffel bag, which is kind of awesome. So we got ourselves a chipped ruby and a healing herbs also. Now we're going to start off by grabbing the custom card. We're also going to grab the broom too. We're going to grab ourselves a big old banana too, and we might as well grab this pocket sand on sale. But hey, for now, I'm going to rock on. I'm going to save our 2 gold. For now. Even though we could be looking for some blue items with our customer card, I do want to keep our gold to potentially grab a more expensive item in our next shop. But unfortunately, it's not looking too great going up against this ranger. Actually, with that little tiny bit of lifesteal on our broom, we might be able to outpace our opponents. It's looking super close though. It's neck and neck. Our opponent does have that regen. As long as we stack up that blind, unfortunately, no. We do end up falling short. Unfortunately, it was a little less than ideal. We're going to be taking this fanny pack for now. I'm going to be grabbing blueberries. I'm actually going to grab a wooden sword also. Let's grab the shiny shell since it's on sale, and we're going to roll once. And I actually do want to craft up a torch, so that should be perfect. And with that, we're going to move on once again. So we should be in a much better spot with our setup right now. It should be looking a hell of a lot better. We are going to begin a pyromancer with a shovel, which is going to be inflicting some blind on us too. But we should be able to outpace the opponents. Now you do have tons of healing with that chili, with that banana and the healing herbs. So maybe actually we might be in a little bit of a tough spot. But as long as we inflict our blinds, if our opponent misses, our damage on our broom is going to be more. And it's actually looking way too close for comforts. And they're actually breaking ahead of us. And we do end up falling short. We do end up missing quite a bit there towards the end. So for now, we're going to grab the storage. Let's grab the pocket sand. Let's roll. I do want to grab more blueberries, and I'm going to reserve this undead for them. But we do need to find a freaking hellpot to craft up magic torch. Let's also grab the stone. And we're going to move on once again. Now, are we going to be able to actually win, or are we going to continue to lose? But unfortunately, we did end up missing quite a bit in the last fight, even though we were the ones stacking up a lot of blind. So all in all, so far this is looking much better overall, even though our opponent does have a silver step. I say that, and our life dropped down quite a bit. But we'll see. We do end up getting a few misses too. Our opponent did a lot of damage to us, but smashing, we actually managed to pull ahead. Not too bad. Just pausing the video here very quickly, just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. Now we do have a choice to make. Spicy banana is going to give us a big power spike right now. But I really want to go mana mastery. I want to go mana mastery into Deerwood Guardian, into Magic Torch, into a bunch of Manathirst. But we have already lost 2 lives, so it's kind of more beneficial to actually just grab Spicy Banana, get a big power spike right now, win the next few fights. More so than taking a skill that really does nothing for us. So I think we're going to have to take Spicy Banana. We're going to take this to see what it is. Amulet of Energy, which is actually crazy insane for sure. We got a helper. And we're going to reserve the stamina sack. And we're going to move on. Now we did take our Star of Courage. But that's going to be a little bit counterintuitive to our Spicy Banana because we do want to use up a lot of stamina. But we should have tons and tons of healing with our setup right now. We should be smashing. Now, our opponent does have heavy drinking, but they don't have any potions, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now, our opponent is also inflicting a lot of poison on us, which is a little less than ideal. And unfortunately, it's not looking too great. Once our battle rage ends, our opponent is going to be dealing quite a bit of damage to us. So unfortunately, we do end up falling short. Remember how I said we're going to win and win? Unfortunately, we're going to keep losing. But yeah, we're going to be crafting up that magic torch. Armor on sale for 4. I'm going to have to grab. Now, unfortunately, we don't have our little foraging hammer since we picked a random character. So we can't craft up our dragon scale armor. So for now, I'm going to sell our custom card. I'm going to sell a stone, and I actually want to grab this pair of gloves. want to grab the pair of gloves because I do want to make this a super fast magic torch once we craft it up. But for now, we're going to move on once again. Now our opponent does have a ton of value with their setup 2. They also have healing reduction. They're also going to have the stone badge for a lot of block too. So we have a lot of block to actually get through. But at least now with our torch we do have... we should have more scaling than our opponent does. They do have a little bit of lifesteal on their wooden sword, but we have lifesteal on our broom. And this is going to be a super long fight. The problem is we still can't break through their armor because of that stone badge. So we could potentially be in a rough spot. However, it's looking like we're actually outpacing our opponents. We did get our max life with that mana potion and smashing actually. Now we should be in a super fantastic spot with our magic torch. We're going to be selling the broom because we got ourselves that hunger bread. Now we're going to be grabbing more storage because we're going to be increasing the speed of our magic torch like crazy. The problem is we do need to increase our mana generation. We're going to roll once. That's mana generation. We could also go for frostbite, but I much prefer going for a mana thirst. We're also going to have our amounts of energy tagged out with blueberries. We'll see. We are going to begin a snow stick frostbite, which our opponent is going to be inflicting a lot of frost on it. That frostbite is going to be doing more damage based on how much frost is on it. So we could be in a little bit of trouble. Slowing us down quite a bit means our scaling is going to be a lot slower overall. But still, so far, get that magic torch going, smashing. Now let's grab this bit of storage. Let's grab more vampirism. Well, regen actually. Let's grab more blueberries. Roll again. I do actually want to grab this bloody ammo. So at least with 2 blueberries in, we should be able to stack up a lot more mana, making our scaling a lot better overall. Our opponent will have a lot of damage with that Molten Spear, especially with that ILM 2. They're going to be scaling up a lot of damage. But we should have a lot of scaling with our magic torch. And actually, this is looking pretty darn awesome. Now, it's been a while since I played the Deerwood Guardian, even though the Shaman is on Silver 5. And I would like to grab the Shaman Mask here, because we could get a badge rune and make this a super fast magic torch to get a ton of scaling. But the Deerwood Guardian would give us a long time in Battle Rage, giving us a ton of mana, giving us a ton of healing, and generally just better for a magic torch sort of situation. But we're going to be taking that Shaman Mask, and we're going to see what sort of craziness we can actually do. But first of all, we're going to be crafting up, not vampiric armor, vampiric gloves. We're going to be grabbing an elephant rune. We're also going to be grabbing this too. Let's roll again. I definitely want a hog rune. I definitely want a mana orb for sure too. Now, unfortunately, if we do want a bit of a buff, we do need our elephant rune inside our weapon. But I much prefer just getting that max life. Now, we could also sell our shiny shell and our 2 pocket sands, which I'm going to do. Actually grab a hawk rune. And that should be overall smashing for us. And we're going to move on. Getting that crit chance on our hunger blade. Now we could also place it on a magic torch to actually get that crit chance on a magic torch, but we do want to get a badge rune to make it a super fast magic torch. But we'll see. So far we're going to begin a Nocturnal Locklifter, Hammer Dagger, Bag of Stones Reaper, who's going to have a lot of vampirism, who's going to have a ton of healing. We do enter a battle rage though. Can we actually win out? It's looking way too close for comfort, and they have so much healing that we might end up still falling short, even though we actually scale up quite a bit of damage. And smashed overall. Now we're going to grab our mana orb. Actually, let's grab a box of riches. Let's actually grab the box of riches too. And let's move on once again. So at least now with our mana orb in, we should be able to get some mana. We actually got very lucky since the start of battle effect. We managed to get 1 mana off the rip. Meaning we do start our scaling pretty darn fast. Now the problem is our opponent is going to have a lot of damage with that axe and a burning torch. But this is smashing overall. But hey, we do have a choice to make, and we're probably going to be taking mana mastery. We want to be stacking up a bunch of mana. Now the mana thirst has been changed. It now requires to get 30 mana, which is a bit of a nerf, but it now gives 2 mana on hits, which is going to be quite interesting. But we're going to be taking this mana mastery for now. We do want another bloody amulet. We could actually craft up vampiric armor, which I'm thinking strongly about. We're going to take another fanny pack, although we could take this too. Let's actually sell this. Let's grab a fanny pack. Let's also grab our fruit too. But hey, we're going to be moving on. Now this should be much better for ourselves. We should be able to turbo inflict a lot of mana for ourselves. Our magic torch should be super fast, scaling up pretty darn fast overall. And we should be able to get a lot of vampirism now. Without the Hunger Blade, we don't stack up vampirism. It is what it is. But this is looking a hell of a lot better overall. Now all we need is a mana orb, and we can potentially get some big mana buff explosions and some prismatic orbs to make it a hell of a lot better. And we did get Cthulhu, which is one of the new unique items, but I'm not going to be taking it. We're going to be grabbing these gemstones for now. That's also freaking Jin's Lamp on sale, which I'm going to be grabbing because that is going to be a magic item. And it's also going to be help scaling up some of our buffs. I also really want this undead filament, but we're going to be taking this leather bag and we're going to be moving on. So we should be in a much better spot with our vampiric armor in. We should be able to get a lot of block. We should be able to stack up a lot of buffs. And we should have a way to scale up our luck with the Jin's Lamp for Shaman Mask. So we should potentially be able to get a lot of buffs. Now the problem is, that Sapphire is going to be a lot of damage. It's going to be super close, but we barely scrape by. Which is awesome. Let's grab this on the Infinite Amulet, which is Amulet of Life. Which I'm going to take. Prismatic Orb. Definitely going to be worth grabbing. Now we could also go for Light Gooberts. We could also go for Bloody Goobert on top of it. Which we are going to take. We'll be back in a second with a sort of inventory. So for now, we did change the whole setup around to fit a Goobert in like so. And we do want to craft this up into Vampiric Gooberts. We did move our Vampiric Gloves in here to be targeting our flutes. Along with our Magic Torch. We did take out our Star of Courage. And we're going to have our Spicy Banana in here because every time we use up one stamina, we do heal. Which is going to be a pretty fast trigger for our Gooberts. Just a quick pause here. Just want to say that Spicy Banana and Gooberts, they don't work anymore. So unfortunately, we don't figure that out until the end of the game. But it only works now on that 30% activation when that banana gives us heat, rather than using that stamina. And we're going to move on. Our opponent is looking kind of scary with that double axe. They're also making pretty good use of Box Prosperity, so they're going to be getting a crazy amount of gemstones. Overall, but we'll see. They're actually doing quite a bit of damage with that double axe. But can we actually heal up? We should have tons and tons of healing. And overall should be smashing. Yeah. And definitely smashing. Now we could also go for King Goobert in our setup. King Goobert would also be kind of nice too. Since we're not finding some mana orbs, definitely going to be worth trying to get as well. Now we're going to be adding in a Prismatic Orb in this position. We're going to be adding in that Box for Riches. And do we sell 2 healing herbs for some extra bit of storage? I'm actually going to sell this to actually grab another Box of Riches. But unfortunately, we can't exactly add it in, so we're just going to move on with this sort of situation. So we should be able to start off with a bunch of mana. And we should be able to get even more vampirism. Our opponents have double Amulet of Darkness, which is crazy. But if you have double Amulet of Darkness, our opponent should be going for an on-healing type build. Because that would be turbo inflicting a lot of debuffs, but smashing. Now one thing awesome about the Magic Torch and the Manathirst combo is basically, no matter how much blind our opponent does have on us, it doesn't matter. Now we do end up with a 40 DPS, which is not crazy DPS overall. We managed to do 30 healing per second, and not too bad a block overall. So I believe we can actually continue on for now. We're going to be grabbing the storage. Let's roll for now. Let's actually grab another fanny pack as we roll. That's another freaking flawless sapphire. I do want to grab more blueberries though. We want to keep going, and do we want to go for King Goobert or do we want to go for Vampiric Goobert? I think since we have the option for Vampiric Goobert right now, that's exactly what we should be going for. So with that, we're going to be moving on once again. Now we did move it around a tiny bit more, so we have our Prismatic Orb in this position. And giving us a little bit more vampirism. And since we have more than 10 mana, we should be able to stack up luck continuously. And eventually we should be able to proc our Jin's Lamp, increasing the damage on our Magic Torch. So all in all, not super bad. And we should be able to smash down this Burning Banner Pyromancer. And overall, awesome for sure. We finally got ourselves a mana orb, which should be crazy good. But we're gonna have to craft up vampire Gooberts more than anything. Might as well take the mana orb in this position. We do also want to grab this regular amethyst. So we're going to be selling both these, and yeah, we're going to be reducing our opponent's healing by quite a bit. But let's continue on for now. So we do want to get more prismatic orbs so we can start off with a bunch more mana and a bunch more vampirism. The problem is our opponent is going to be inflicting a lot of frost on us with the ice armor and with that frozen buckler, which is going to slow us down quite a bit actually. Our opponent did get invulnerability, but once we get our blood Goobert in, we should be in a pretty fantastic spot. We did get our big mana buff explosion, and this is looking amazing for sure. Now we're going to take these blueberries. Let's roll again. I'm going to keep rolling. Hawk Rune. We probably should grab a Hawk Rune for our magic torch more than anything. Let's keep going, and that's a freaking prismatic orb, which we desperately need for sure. And we could craft up a king's crown too. But I don't exactly want to. I do want to keep our mana specifically so we can craft up a big mana buff explosion. Or we could also go for double mana thirst. But I don't think we're going to be doing that. Now we also didn't get a badge rune to be increasing the speed of our magic torch like crazy. Since the stamina cost has been reduced on it, we can actually make it go super fast. Our opponent with double snow stick is going to be inflicting a lot of cold on us. And they're actually cleansing a lot of their own cold. So this could actually be pretty bad for us because that is a lot of frost on us. And they're dealing quite a bit of damage. But unfortunately, yeah, we do end up falling short. Definitely super interesting build all the same. So let's grab this. We're going to be grabbing this prismatic orb also. Now I'm going to roll. I'm going to keep rolling. That's another elephant rune, which I'm going to sell one box of riches so we can have even more max life. That should be pretty darn fantastic. We're going to sell you to roll again. We could end up grabbing another Jin's Lamp. We could also grab another Undead Flamlet at the very end, which I'm going to actually want. But hey, we should be able to start off with a crazy amount of mana and a bunch of vampirism overall. And we could lose a little bit of mana generation, but get a ton more vampirism, which I'm definitely down for. But we'll see how this goes for now. We should be in a much better spot. We do start off with a crazy amount of vampirism. We should be able to get a ton of mana stacked up, getting our big buff, mana buff explosion, giving us a crazy amount of buffs. And we should be in a pretty good spot. And our opponent is actually stacking up a lot of max life. They do have tons of healing though, with Nocturnal Locklifter. But that's a hell of a lot of damage with our weapons and smashing actually. Even though it's only 15% crit chance, that was some crazy damage. And now we actually have an 80 DPS compared to what we had previously, which is pretty darn smashing, and they're healing about 80 healing per second. So this has actually turned out to be quite nice. And on top of it, with an extra 14 block per second. So not too bad overall. Let's go ahead and grab this. We got another Amulet of Life, which I'm going to be taking for sure. Let's roll. We could grab some Spike Generation, making our Jin's Lamp trigger a little bit easier. Let's actually grab some blueberries. Let's roll. That's cheese for max life. Also an Elephant Rune, pretty darn good too. It's the final round, so we're going to be getting rid of a box of riches anyway. So let's grab that cheese. We're going to be grabbing that Elephant Rune. Now we never found a bad rune, which I did really want to be turbo stacking that magic torch. But it is what it is. But this is it. This is going to be our final setup. Now this build would be a lot crazier with more prismatic orbs. It would be a lot crazier with more mana orbs overall. But still, it turned out to be quite nice. A big mana buff explosion type build with a magic torch and mana thirst. With a magic torch and mana thirst dual combo. Which I haven't really used that magic torch and mana thirst combo again. But we'll see. Are we going to build win out? Are we going to fall short? We are going to begin a Vampiric Goobert, Brass Knuckles, Burning Sword, Fancy Fencing Rapier, Sun Armor, Sun Shields, which is kind of crazy looking for sure. But we'll see. We got pretty much our big mana buff explosion, which should be amazing. I say that and it's just on the edge of it. Now we did get that big buff explosion. They're actually doing quite a bit of damage though actually. We do have our Battle Rage though, but we should be able to deal quite a bit of damage. But they did get that invulnerability, which is actually going to be quite scary. But so far, actually, I'd say quite scary. ended up not being super scary. Our spicy banana didn't actually proc, so this whole time, our spicy banana only had 1 activation. So it is what it is. We do end up with 3 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we actually managed to get. Plus 12 ranks up quite a bit actually. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here for now. I just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope to see you looking for the next one. See you next time.